All right, so it is that time of year. We're making our lists. We're talking about the top 10 sneakers of the year. But before we do that, we got to talk about some underrated gems, things that were overlooked. In this video, I have 5 of them for you. Every single one of these pairs was easy to get. Some of them you can still buy right now. Actually, probably all of them you can get right around retail at this moment. So I'll link each pair for you down in the description. Let me know your top 5 most underrated sneakers of the year down in the comment section. Let's do it. First up, these New Balance are out of the box, and you know what that means if you're a sneakerhead. That means that you've been wearing them a lot. You put the box somewhere. They've probably been sitting by your door and you don't know where the box is. So we've got the New Balance 990 V2 from the first Teddy 16 pack. He gave us 3 pairs right out of the gate. These were one of them. The 990 V3s were more popular than this one, and maybe even the V1. This was the least popular out of the bunch, but for some reason I was the most drawn to it, probably because of how they did the back tab here in that lighter tan. Really what makes this shoe is the olive green on the toe box there. When you're wearing these and you get that bird's eye view looking down at them, you're like, this is a nice pair. I feel good, and that makes these underrated and number 5 on the list. Next up, I'm sure you've seen that Social Status and Nike have been doing some good work. They've partnered up and released a couple retros from the Penny basketball line. When do you get that many laces with a sneaker? These are the Air Max Penny 1s. Social Status did an excellent job. I threw the basketball Nike swoosh in there. I thought that was the best one. And there was a couple pairs that also released I wasn't able to get that I thought would have a wider release that I was a little surprised about, but I'm happy to have one here. Next up, this is an honorable mention. Soul Savvy released their own shoe this year. This is their SS4 sneaker. The shape of the shoe is nice, it's sleek, it's a good colorway, and they weren't shy on the extras that came with these sneakers. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and just get these out of the way because I've been talking about these a lot. They were in many videos that I've put out, but they need to be mentioned because they're such a good shoe. They are such a good shoe. They're extremely underrated. They did not sell out, but we've got the Air Jordan 3 Desert Elephant. Excellent materials on here. I just don't know why they were kind of overlooked. Maybe they didn't do enough for people. I still haven't figured that one out, but you can let me know why you think people weren't really into this shoe. And a side note, if you haven't noticed, some Jordan retros are uncomfortable this past year. Jordan 4s being one of them. If there's not a specific insole in the shoe, they're uncomfortable. Jordan 3s, however, I find a little bit more comfortable, and then this one in particular was among the most comfortable Jordan 3s that I've been wearing. And if you're a grown man and you like comfort in your shoes, that definitely matters. Each time I put on a Jordan, I'm like, okay, how long can I stand in this thing? Am I wearing this just to my basketball game, or is this something I'm wearing all day Saturday? Because these, I could probably do it. Next up, more New Balance. I don't necessarily think that these were underrated. I think that they just made more pairs than people were expecting. This shoe was on Foot Locker. It was very easy to get. So if you want a pair, I'll try to link them for you guys. The 2002R from the protection pack in this particular colorway is so underrated. This might be one of the best 2002Rs to drop. Actually, there's like a cranberry or pink color that's either dropping maybe today. It would probably go well with this jacket. This is one of the better streetwear New Balance that has released, in my opinion, in a long time. Actually, it's probably the best streetwear New Balance that has released, where it's got this rugged and raw look to it, and it goes against the grain of everything that is New Balance. And then last up, the box gives it away. These just restocked. They might still be available. If they are, you know the deal, down in the description. But Air Jordan 6s are in my top 3 Jordan retro models. They might even be number 2 nowadays. I don't know. I need to make an updated list as far as what my favorite Jordan retros are. It used to be the 1s, the 4s, then the 6s, but the 4s have been so uncomfortable recently. 6s may jump ahead of them at some point. But we've got the Midnight Navy Air Jordan 6 right here. This is a simple and wearable colorway. It is one of the first Jordan retros that I've ever seen. I was young, so I don't exactly remember the name of this show, but it was either MTV Diaries or something where MTV did a day in the life, and Jay-Z was on the show. He went to a sneaker store and he picked these up. They flashed it on the screen for maybe like a second, and I was like, what are those? What's the deal with that shoe? But at the time I had no means to even get something like this, but it always stuck in my mind. That shoe, that Jordan 6, that looks special. And here we are. This is the first time I've actually been able to get them. It is just rare for Jordan Brand to use navy and white. Typically it's black and white. Chicago Bulls colorways. It's just rare for them to use navy and white simply. There are not a lot of navy Jordans out there. So I'll cut it off right there. I don't need to go on a tangent. I could talk more about this shoe. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up before you leave. Comment section, let me know your top 5 most underrated sneakers of the year. Thank you guys for tuning in. That is it for me though. I'll catch you next time.